fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Shoto here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, who, after a few months, which I have not specified how long it's been, so I'm going to say it's been 7 months of Midoriya's training. Now, with that cleared up, it makes it a lot easier for me. Anyways, now, 7 months into Midoriya's training for UA. Midoriya, he has talked with Reborn. He doesn't want to be the mafia boss. However, Reborn, yeah. Midoriya is going to be the mafia boss. Now, Midoriya and him have talked. And Reborn is assembling Midoriya's Familia. And Bakugo Katsuki, he was given one of the 7 rings. Now, this Bakugo has been helping out in Midoriya's training, and he will continue to do so, as Reborn's also gotten the information that Midoriya he did want. Now, Midoriya has an entire list of names of everybody who is attending UA. Now, they're all going to be going to the entrance exams, and some are going through the recommendations. Out of the people in the recommendations, Midoriya has already spotted 2 that he believes would be very beneficial for the Familia. And you do even have Reborn, who, yeah, not only does he look over them, but he himself pointed them out to Midoriya. And Midoriya, he did want to meet with both of these 2. Since, well, yeah. He feels like it would be best to build this reputation with them before they get into the hero school. Now, we do have Midoriya, who he does head over to UA the day of the recommendations. And he's combed through and already found all of his candidates in this amount of time, as that was 2.5 months ago. Midoriya believes he's put together a force of people that would be very, very hard to take down. Along with that, Midoriya himself has even improved, and he's even begun to try to learn a specialized skill. Midoriya's learned more and more about the flame, and how exactly to use it. Whenever Midoriya does activate the Sky Flame, he's able to use his gloves to maneuver around and fly. And it is actually quite entertaining, since Reborn was there when Midoriya was still trying to get up off the ground. And this is where Bakugo was actually there to get Midoriya back up onto his feet, as he informed him about what he does do for his explosions. And Midoriya, being intelligent and close to canon, he does pick it up rather quickly. He starts to mimic and copy some of Bakugo's movements. However, he also does make adjustments for what he has to do himself, especially since Midoriya can fire continuous flames while Bakugo only fires bursts of explosions. Now, we will cut to UA on the recommendation day. where Midoriya, him and Reborn are both standing outside. And Midoriya is talking with Reborn, asking him exactly what he should say. As we do have where a limousine does pull up. Reborn trying to tell Midoriya that what he needs to do is try to sweet talk them. At first, tell them exactly what's happening. And exactly what he wants them for. Be honest with them. Now, you do actually have where Momo, she is the first one to step out. And Midoriya, he does see her. He's kind of surprised. Whenever he pictured this rich girl, he kind of pictured somebody, well, a little different. He expected a blonde girl that was, well, treated like a princess. Then again, Midoriya does think that she might have a snobby attitude, since she might be rich and all. So it'd be best to approach her as if he's approaching somebody of royalty. Now, Midoriya, whenever Momo does come to walk by him, he would actually go to stop her. Hi? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello? Do I know you? Oh, no, actually, you don't. My name is Izuku Midoriya. Hi, my name is Momo Yaoyorozu. It's a pleasure to meet you. Her bringing out her hand. As you do have Midoriya, who does have his hand in his pocket. Midoriya grabbing the ring and going to pull it out with his hand as he does go to shake Momo's. Now, Midoriya, he would introduce himself with a smile and think that this girl's actually not as bad as he first thought. As Midoriya does go to pull his hand away, and so does Momo. Her looking down and seeing the ring Midoriya just put in her hand. Uh, excuse me, is this yours? Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. This ring? Yeah. Listen, I'm not trying to propose to you or marry you, if that's what you're thinking. What? No, it wasn't at all what I was thinking. Why are you giving me this now, though? Momo getting a bit flustered. As Midoriya, he does get a firm smack on the back of his head. As Reborn, he does try to recover or salvage the situation. Hello, Miss Yaoyorozu. Oh, hi. I'm guessing you're his bodyguard. Actually, no, I'm his trainer. Trainer? Yes. You see, Reborn giving her a bit of a rundown. Midoriya, he is going to apply for UA. And he is going to be training hard, since he is going to become a mafia boss one day down the line in the future. Now, Momo does stare at Reborn, before going to look at Midoriya, who's gotten up and is currently rubbing the back of his head. Okay, and what is this? Well, Reborn explaining the ring and the power it will give her, as she does sound kind of intrigued by it. A ring that can give her power. Interesting. Now, Momo does continue to ask questions, as she actually does go to bring her hand up and put the ring on. As she does do that, there actually is a small little flame that does come out, and it does surprise her. Her going to pull the ring off as it does hit the ground. Reborn reassuring her as Midoriya does go to pick up the ring that ring or that tiny flame was of no harm to her. But it was a flame. Yes, but it contained no heat. What? Now, Reborn, yeah. He does talk more with Momo, And Momo, she does say that she will consider this proposition, especially because this ring, it's caught her interest. Along with that, this idea of the mafia. I mean, sure, it's, well, probably a joke, but she does want to learn a bit more about this. Now, Reborn, he actually would give Momo the ring and tell her to think a bit more about it. As she was walking to Yue and Todoroki's limousine would pull up. Now, Reborn would tell Midoriya that for this one, he is going to have to be a bit more or a bit less of himself, and more like Bakugo. As Midoriya does try to think. Oh crap. Now, Todoroki does step out of the limousine, and he does see Midoriya just staying there with Reborn. As Midoriya, he does go to open his mouth and say, "Hello. My name is Izuku Midoriya. It's a pleasure to meet you. You're Shoto Todoroki, correct?" "Hmm? Yes. Now out of my way." "I'm sorry, no." Midoriya says, bring up his hand. Crap. Okay. Keep calm, keep calm. Midoriya trying to hide his heavy breathing. As Todoroki does turn his head and glance down at Midoriya. Midoriya bringing his head up and saying that he would like to have a conversation with him really quickly. "I'm busy. Now what's so important?" This being where Midoriya, he would pull out the ring and inform Todoroki that he would like him to help him with something. And, well, his request is going to sound weird, but he would like him to be part of his Familia. Familia? Yes. Listen, it's, well, Reborn jumping up on Midoriya's shoulder and saying that Midoriya, he's asking him to join the mafia. And basically to become a criminal. No, it's nothing like that. I was just asking you to. Sure. Huh? Wait, what? Sure. I don't care. Becoming a criminal just sounds better. Means that my old man, well, his plan goes wrong immediately. That's all it took? Yes, that's all it took. So, just to get everything straight, I don't need to, well, try to trick you to do this or have a competition with you? No, why would you? Well, I just kind of thought I have to. No. If my old man gets pissed off at me for doing it, then I do it. So? Now, Midoriya would pull out the ring and give it to Todoroki, who he does just hold it in his hand and look down, asking exactly how many people is he trying to gather with these things. And Reborn would explain. They currently have 4, and they do just need 3 more people. Now, with that, Midoriya, he gave Todoroki the Cloud Ring. And we will then be cutting up to the entrance exam, where this morning, Midoriya, he was nervous. However, we do have where Reborn, he woke Midoriya up early. He allowed him to train for usually half the time today. He did then basically get Midoriya to take a shower, and he did then make him breakfast. As Midoriya, he does sit down eating some pancakes, and he is confused. Especially because with the pancakes, he has some oatmeal on his right, and then he actually does have at least something sweet to his left. And he just does look over at Reborn, who is currently ironing an outfit for Midoriya. And Midoriya would ask Reborn exactly if he did all this. Yes, yes, I did. You've been working very hard. And I feel like it is only right for you to understand that. This is a treat. Often than not, I would rather not like to do this. However, you're coming along very well. Reborn then actually just putting a jacket onto the table, telling Midoriya that he got him this uniform. And Midoriya, he does look at it, as it's a black jacket or a black tracksuit jacket, along with black track pants. And Midoriya, he does stare at it kind of confused. As Reborn, he does then hand him a shirt that is a long-sleeved one, and white. As Midoriya, he does just stare at it for 1 second, asking Reborn exactly why did he get him this. Reborn then explaining the suit outfits that he would have to wear, and that this tracksuit he's made for him is sort of like that. It allows for flexibility and mobility. Along with that, he did make it to be fire resistant. Oh, that's very important. I am aware. Now, get going. Oh, you're right. But are you going to stand up? As he does go to bring up his arms, and he does just simply just pull off his shirt, putting on the white one and the black track jacket. As Midoriya, he does grab the pants and run to his room really quickly to take off his pajamas, before he quickly does leave. Now, there is where Midoriya and Bakugo, they're both running down the street and heading for UA. Now, Midoriya, he does eventually arrive outside, as he does just stand there and think. Bakugo asking the damn nerd if he's going to be waiting out here. Just give me a minute. We gotta go inside now. I know, but it's just kind of... Well, you know... I never thought I'd get here. You're getting cold feet now, of all times? No, listen. You know what I mean. Midoriya going to walk inside, as a girl, she bumped into him and apologized before quickly running in. Now, as that did happen, we do have where the written portion is going on. And because of Reborn's proper training, Midoriya was able to equally focus on studies and training at the same time. Midoriya scoring, let's say, 95%. He at least misses 1 or 2 questions. And then there actually is the physical portion where everyone, they have already changed. And Midoriya, he's trying to maintain his calm demeanor. As out of his left jacket pocket, he does go to bring up his hands and grab the mittens out, as somebody does comment on them and ask exactly why he's wearing those. Midoriya, as he does grab the pill bottle, he does take 2 of them, putting them into his mouth as somebody would walk up behind him and grab him on the shoulder. As you do have Tenya Ida, who he does bring up his hand, and in the classic boy move with his hand, he does tell Midoriya that performance-enhancing drugs or pills like that are not allowed. Listen, it's not that. Jeez, why did you jump to that assumption? Because you and your friend were talking a lot. You are a delinquent, are you not? Now, the flame would pop up on top of Midoriya's head and surprise Ida, as Midoriya would just tell Ida that he's not a delinquent. In fact, he can give him a record of his old school. He is a model student, and he just scored very highly on that written test. Along with that, why does he jump to the conclusion that whatever he has in his possession is automatically bad? For all he knows, this is a special medicine given to him from a doctor because of an ailment. Or it's quite simply vitamins Midoriya lacks in his diet. Has he ever thought of that? Now, Ida does just stare at Midoriya, since in 2 seconds, this guy's personality just flipped. Now, Midoriya he does go to put on his other glove, as it does change to the Vengola 10 gloves. Now, Ida he does just stare at Midoriya as he walks to the front of the line. And he does just think to himself, that guy can't be in his family. He's the sort of guy who's too brash. He goes in guns blazing and doesn't think of a plan first. If he keeps with that mindset, he might get himself killed one day. Oh well, it's not my problem. Now, the test would begin, and Midoriya, he does rush in, as he leaves people in the dust. And you actually have Tenya Ida, who's surprised at Midoriya's speed. Midoriya, he's able to somehow maneuver around and fly, as Principal Nezu and All Might rightfully assume Midoriya would have a flying quirk. However, they are shocked when Midoriya he does bring up one of his hands, and he does go to spin his body around. Midoriya is spinning around as he does send a flaming punch directly into a robot, and it does shatter and break, along with being burned and beginning to melt. As Midoriya would then turn his other hand and bring up another one, smashing into the robot with what looks like to be a fiery explosion. As Midoriya and Bakugo are both watched. And you do actually have Midoriya who he's observing everyone else. Whenever Midoriya he's cleared an area, he does head to another one that is densely populated by people, as he's taking out robots and observing some of their quirks. He's seen a few that, well, yeah, they don't really seem to be too interesting. Along with that, they might just be not what he's looking for. And we do actually then have the 0-pointer, where Midoriya, he has to repop pills halfway throughout his battle. And after his flame does start up again would be whenever the 0-pointer would actually make an appearance. As Midoriya, he is looking around. And he's trying to think about where more robots could be that he can get really quickly, since everyone else is running away. Midoriya then hearing a scream as he does look up and begin to start flying into the battlefield. Now, Midoriya does get in as he does see Ochako. Midoriya turning to look at her as he does ask her if she's alright. Her basically talking about how she's injured. And Midoriya, he does look down before looking up. Midoriya blasting down at the rubble as he breaks it into multiple pieces, moving what he thinks to be on her leg as he does grab her and pull her right out, before throwing her around his body and onto his back and telling her to hold on. As the two do blast away, just as the 0-pointer's leg was about to smash down on top of them. And you do then have Midoriya, where he does stop and bring himself to slow down. Midoriya bring one of his hands up in front of him and one of his hands from behind him downwards to almost in front of him, to slow himself down. Now, people do begin to crowd around Midoriya, and they're all asking about his strange quirk, since they haven't seen something like that before. Midoriya's flames are quite destructive. However, he can also touch them, or can't he? He's wearing gloves, and then there's that fire in his hair. It doesn't give off any heat whenever someone put their hand above it because they were curious. But then there's actually Ochako, who she does thank Midoriya and properly apologize for bumping into him earlier this morning. And you do then have where Midoriya would leave. Now, with that being said, I do believe that that's a good point to leave this part off of. And I do hope you guys have enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.